Zero Cool Gamer here, back again with another video to go ahead and start to explain this. This is weird. This is just for the Ace of Raids, so it is going to be an interesting video nonetheless, but I mean, let's try to figure it out, I guess, somewhat. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting characters here that are just all over the place. So the big thing is, well, how do we, which ones do we use? Plus we have to use them based on, well, what they got here, which is the raid map. Now I looked inside msf.gg, but I'm going based off of here because this is what we kind of need to use, because this is what's showing us where we go, what we do, la 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 la. And I kind of came up with a nice little spreadsheet for a subjective use. That means it's not like #1 foolproof out there, whatever. It's just my take on it, because some of the characters I don't have maxed out. Some of the characters I don't have pushed up to something. So based on these characters here and the ones that I have and the ones that I did actually push up into, you know, up in gear and up in leveling, then I put them on the list. Otherwise, some of them might be different for you, because hey, you might have actually got Morbius and Dr. Voodoo up to like G14, G15, G16. You might have actually got Spider-Woman, you know, pushed up to G14, G15, G16. You might actually got, what's it called, Nico, to be pushed up further too, but I haven't. So I'm doing this based on just normal, regular gameplay, mid-gamers, because this is what we kind of need to know. A lot of people did get Morgan Le Fay, a lot of people didn't. So there are some little seconds there and whatever, but I'm looking mostly based on characters that have been out for a good minute. So if they've been out for a long while and you've had access to them and you're a mid-gamer, you might have a lot of these characters out there and they're probably pushed up enough to where you can do some damage. Otherwise, it's just like, whatever, okay, cool. So I came up with this sheet here just to go ahead and start breaking down the lists based on the trait and based on what lane that you're taking on. Now I kind of labeled it as far left, middle left, and center left. Basically pushing is more of right here is this one here at the, you know, this side here, obviously with the diamonds there on the far left, because that's obviously diamonds there. Then you got the middle here, which starts about, oh, you know, like right here, you know, whatever, just there, clubs and then spades and stuff, and then you got the center over there. So I put far left, middle, and then the center lane. Same thing with that, far right, middle right, center lane. So that way at least you got some type of idea of what's going on with this sheet and how I created it and how I was looking at it. And then I did it based off the traits and what they gave us in each actual trait part, because some of them do have a couple of different mixes there, like diamond, club, spade, and then you got spade and diamond, then you got club and heart. So it does kind of make a bit difference, because then it depends on the characters that you got. And for me, for diamond right now, you got Gamora, Nebula, Spider-Man, Carnage, and Strife. Only because I use Strife, because he does get a little bit of healing and he gets a good taunt over there, so everybody stays away and he gets barrier. He takes some damage. The alternates that I use for them is basically Dazzler, Morbius, Gambit, and Dr. Voodoo. Now, granted, I do have Gambit, but a lot of people don't, so I'm kind of maybe I won't do that. The bigger one here is with Morbius and Dr. Voodoo. I got both of them, but they're nowhere near anything viable at the moment. So I put them as an alternate on this on that side. Next we got clubs, So let's go ahead and filter it off of there, because hey, might as well filter it. So that's usually the middle left, the center right, or middle right, because they're around. They're a little pushed out over there, but the big ones here are Surfer, Taskmaster, Star-Lord T'Challa, Spider-Punk, and Magneto. And the reason I picked them was because Surfer basically comes out the gate, boom, hit his ultimate. I know it's going to cause some issues there, because there are a couple of those nodes that have that nasty trait of, ooh, let's take a look at it because it's a pain. it's a freaking pain. Because it's basically a scourge. But when he comes out the gate, when either all enemies special and ultimate cost, nope. When a player or character uses their ultimate, they gain blind. So depending on which one he uses it for there, and then when a player or character uses it, all enemies gain 1 ability energy. So that could be a problem. But if you got your Surfer beefed up a little bit, if you do have him, boom, knock it right out. Let him go ahead and have it. You could do some piercing damage. Same thing with Taskmaster. He puts blind all over the place. Star-Lord steals energy. If you do have him and they've tried to make him somewhat available, you can kind of do it. Spider-Punk, he's a definitely good character. I don't have him at high stars, but he's still a good character. And Magneto can blind everybody. As for the ultimates, I use Gambit and Shatterstar and Loki. And I took Loki off of a couple of lanes. Only because if he goes into stealth, he gets taunt. And Loki's really not that beefy. So kind of messes things up. So you kind of want to look out for that. The next big one here that we got is, let's go with it, spades. So spades are around there, same thing, middle left, center left, middle right. And these ones, for most part, a lot of the community does have Morgan Le Fay. She might not be as beefy as you like, but you got MILF. So you got her out there. You might as well use Jubilee. She has been out for quite a while. Same thing with Deathpool. Deathpool will go nuts on the node. As soon as you kill somebody, boom, her passive snaps off and starts going. Scarlet Spider and Spider-Man, I use both of them because, well, they do go ahead and drain, so they will heal themselves. Same thing with Morgan Le Fay and Deathpool. Jubilee is a little bit more different. She doesn't really have that big of a health pool, and she might die, but then again, she is a legendary and she could stun somebody and blind somebody on her basic, hopefully. So, and the 3 alts I use for this are Gambit, obviously, Thanos and Cull Obsidian, if you could use them together. So if you don't have somebody on here and you're going to try to use Thanos and Cull Obsidian, I would probably go with Thanos more, because at least he could try to do, he could take a hit. Same thing with Cull, he gets some taunts, he gets some death proof. Gambit, just because he's basically out there, I do have him, but he's probably one of the better ones at the moment. Diamond, let's go with that. This is basically just the far left. The far left is basically just all diamond. That's just crazy weird, but but he's there. But let's go with Art. So Art is on the far right. It's basically the whole right side of the node. And for those 5 choices, I chose Emma, Agatha, Ghost Spider, Colleen, and Misty. Colleen and Misty, obviously, because they do have some synergy. Emma, because she has a buttload of resistance when you do her special, although it might cause a little issue during it, but Agatha, she does have some viability. She's not, I don't have her at a bunch of stars, and she's kind of rare at the moment, but we do what we gotta do. And then Ghost Spider, basically, if you can go ahead and ability block somebody, it's basically great. For the alts, I did put Dagger over there only because she does have some viability by herself, but still, it's kind of lackluster without Cloak. Gambit, obviously. And then you got Sharon Carter, because she does stun, she does do an ability block, and I put Spider-Woman and Nico because basically they are brand new characters, so they're not essentially the greatest. You know, you don't got a lot of access to them. We've only gotten so many shards unless you bought them. So we want to make sure that they're good characters, but they're good together. So that's the big thing. And you want to make sure that you do use them if you got them. If not, I would stick with the current 5 there and just be happy with it. Let's see here. And now we got some of the other fun traits here, like Club Heart. So it's a mixture because you do get the Club and the Heart trait, which we both know can be interesting. So I chose Surfer, Agatha, Star-Lord, Taskmaster, and Magneto. Hopefully this can go ahead and stun and ability block and do all kinds of crap to them before coming right out the gate before anybody does something. For the alts, I got Ghost, Sharon Carter, Misty, Spider-Punk, and Nico. So I'm probably using Nico more than Spider-Woman, but At the moment, it's just either one. It doesn't really matter. I mean, these are ultimates for it because they're not going to be too high on stars, and most people don't have them unless you're wailing out, and I'm not wailing out. So, and the other trait that we do see is Spade and Diamond. So the mixture of those two would probably be Morgan Milf, Deathpool, Gamora Nebula, and Jubilee. Only because that's two legendaries. You got Deathpool just snapping off when you kill somebody, and then you got Gamora Nebula, and they work well together. Hopefully Gamora's charges knock off by the third turn, and you're doing good. The alternates for that, if you don't got any of these characters pushed up into there, is Scarlet Spider and Symbiote Spider-Man. Both are relatively good. Symbiote Spider-Man does drain better with both of them, so pretty damn nice. Same thing with Carnage. So Symbiote Spider-Man and Scarlet Spider and Carnage would be good if you don't have any of these other characters beefed up. Strife is he's a good tank, so you might as well bring him in if you don't have any other legendaries there. And then there's Gambit, just because it is his raid. So this is my outlook on it. This is what I'm using for it. Like I said, it is basically subjective. I'm not saying these are the best ones out there. They're looking like the best ones for me because, well, these are the characters that I have out there. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to use them or whatever, and I needed something where I could just go ahead and click on it. Boom. Let me see which one I'm going to use. Boom. Let me see which one I'm going to try to see what I can do with it. But if you got any questions, hit me down in the comments below. Let me know what's happening. That way we can try to figure this out together because we only have so much information based on what they gave us in the blog post. And hey, it wasn't much. It's really not. So let's try to figure this out together. Let's push forward with it because we need to figure out this raid so we get more shards on Gambit and actually for some people can unlock him. And for others, well, we can go ahead and beef him up a little bit more. So hit me up in the comments. Hit a like if you liked the video, and I'll go ahead and make another. I'll probably update it soon, probably sometime next week when they give us more information on it. We'll definitely put a video out on Twitch. We'll definitely be streaming it, so that way we can go ahead and figure out what the hell this raid's gonna do. We have no idea what their levels are. We have no idea what their actual abilities are gonna be. They're not really on MSF.gg yet. They just have, hey, here's the node, here's the traits for it. Good luck. So, but until the next video, deuces.